9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready?
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another Training on the Charts with your boy Wang, aka Taz. So today, as you can see from the title, we're going over a rally base drop. Yesterday we had rally base rally. Today we're doing rally base drop, right? So let's get right into it. So before we look at the actual candlestick charts, let me show you a quick picture of how the three candle pattern look like. We have, and this one you're gonna mostly find at the top of a trend, of a swing high, usually, most of the time. So we have a rally. So for me, it's blue, right? Then we have a base, which is pretty much a candle like pretty much like that, or like that. And then we have a drop. All right. Boom. The drop is obviously red. The base is usually blue, depending how many candles you have within the base. Base is pretty much candlestick going sideways, not going too high, not going too low. It's just between the large blue candle, which is rally, and between the large red candle going down. The base is the candle inside, which is pretty much look like it's going sideways. You could have multiple candles inside, but the most valid ones are the ones that is one candle between the rally and the drop. Two is okay also, but one is perfect. That means the market never came back. I mean the market. There's more money sitting here with just one. You know, the market literally just went up, did a stop, and then did a reverse. Pretty much it did a U-turn real quick, just leaving money sitting here, right? So technically, value-based drop, we're looking mostly for a sell, right? So pretty much I would use my Ganna and mark up the box. I left one part out. I left the wicks. You know, they're gonna have wicks. So you wanna make sure you have the wicks. And just like everything else, like I taught yesterday, I like to catch all three candles within the zone, because you never know, how far up it's gonna come up. The wick still matters, because on a lower time frame, the wick was once on a lower time frame. A wick is a body, which is how it looks here. So I like to mark up. Let's say the rally has a higher wick. I mark up that wick to the actual low of the wick. So let's say the drop has a lower wick, then I mark that up too. So that means, this is giving us a bigger range opportunity for the market to come back up, because the market could drop, then come back up. It could come out here, then sorry. Right here. The market could drop, come back up between the 0 and 25, then drop. It could come up to the 25 to the 50, or even the 75 before it actual drop down, So if we use just the base wick, we just miss this opportunity right here, family. Where are you? There we go. If we just use the base candle to form our zone, we just miss this zone. And then potentially, you see how this one came right here? That could have been a 50%, but it just barely missed our zone, you know? And I've seen that happen a lot. So instead of, having one, two, and three possible entry, you could stack not stack them, but this could have been a win. Then wait for the pullback. This could have been another entry. Could have been a win depending on your risk to reward and your pips. And then this could have been your third entry. Take it down. So this is why I like to use all three candles. And like I said, if my drop candle has the lowest wick, then I'm gonna mark that up too. So I'm marking the wicks of the valley to the drop. Like I said, if the base has a higher wick than the valley, then guess what? I will use that wick. Why? Because that's within the zone. This base is within the 3 zone. So that's how pretty much a valley base rally is. So you can see it better. We have a valley. Base. And then a drop. Boom. There we go. Our rally, base, drop. So now let me show you in the charts. Like I said, you mostly see a valley, base, valley, usually on the top of a swing, because that's an indicator of the market changing, So like right here, this is what I was saying earlier. It could have multiple. You see how we have this right here. I'm gonna actually save this because I notice I use this a lot. So boom. There we go. Lovely. So you see how this candle is the last this will the last. What is happening? Oh, it's white. Huh. Okay. Remove that one. Okay, there we go. You see how this blue candle is the last buy, and then you have these three going sideways, and then the drop. So that's a valley base drop. So the way I will mark it is, and okay, you see how the wicks, the valley and this base has this. Actually, this valley has the highest wick. So I'll start with that wick, and then guess what? Right there. That's how most people would do it. Use. There we go. Use the wick of the high wick and then the low wick. The red candle is the breakout, right? So on the diagram that I formed, I kind of said it incorrectly. It's not the large wick, because if you do the large wick, this come over here. That's still a zone. You can still play that if that's what you like to do. Because let's see, did it came back up? If using that, yes, it did. Right here, you can see that this one came back up to right there. You see that? And then this one came back here. That's if you use the wick of the rally to the wick of the drop. But if you just use the lowest wick of the base, it would have came here. You only would have had one opportunity to get in. You see that? So you saw the two difference. from marking up using the wick of the base compared to using the wick of the drop itself. So I use the top wick of the valley, which is the blue candle, and then you see how we have three candle going pretty much sideways, and then a red one dropping completely. There we go. That's what you call also imbalance right there as well, because there's an imbalance in the middle. But I'll show that in the next class. So, you know, you want to be more precise and just have one entry and use the wick there. So the risk to reward, right here, boom, the stop loss right above the high, and at least 3 to 1, right? And did we hit our target? I believe so. There we go. You see that? Now, if we would have used the wick of the drop, so the high wick of the valley with the low wick of the drop, we had 2 entries, and both of them would have been in profit because none of the 2 hit our stop loss. You see that? So we would have had 2 profit trades at the end of the day, and that's beautiful. And that's a simple valley base drop, and the base is don't even have one candle. It had 3 candles, so it's still valid, So we have that. Let me see another one. Where is it? Okay, we have one here, a baby one. We have that's small. It still will work because you see we have a rally. This one would have been our rally. 1, 2, and 3 would have been our base. And then this one would have been our drop. So again, we would have marked the highest wick to the lowest and extend it again, this is just giving us a better opportunity, a bigger zone for us to get into the trade. Again, you could have had a tighter zone by using the previous low wick before the drop, and look, you would still have made it in. It wicked you in. Depending on your broker and the spread, this could have been an entry or it wouldn't, depending on the spread. Sometimes that's why it's good to just zone the whole area. Yeah, it looks bigger, but guess what? You have better chances for you to enter. Because let's say, I said my risk to reward was at the 25, and then my stop loss above the high, you would have used this high or even this high, but I just used this high, and a risk to reward of 3, right? That's what we teach. A 1 to 3. Look at how this hit your target with no problem. You see that? By securing a better entry by having a bigger zone. You see that? And this, depending on your broker, it would have got you in because of the spread. Let's say that the spread was different. Spread we go over later on as well. So look at how beautiful this small rally base drop, if you know how to read it, could have gave us another entry, another trade idea for a sell, and boom, made our money, And you see it everywhere, because look, there's another one right here, and it came into a zone and dropped. Where is it? This one, it came, but it went up, so it would have gave us a stop loss. Because let's say this would have been our entry right here, stop loss above the high, and a 3 to 1. The market didn't enter till this candle right here. You see it? Let's make it bigger. This is where we wanted the zone to come in. So this was the zone. You see how we use 25 50% at least. Let's do 25. And our high, our swing high. I mean, our stop loss above the high, right? Previous high. Boom. You know, so it came up, enter us, and this candle right here is the one that took us out. It took us out, but then it dropped. You see that? And price never hit our target. So this would have been a loss. You know, at the end of the day, we win some and we lose some. I mean, we win some and we lose some. Sorry. Let me give you one more example, family, before I hop out. Let's see if I know one. They're everywhere too. Like I'm gonna show you another one that didn't even come back yet. So that means it could be an opportunity for a future sell. Look at this beautiful one right here. You see how we have, remember I said it's usually on the swing before the drop. We have a rally, base, drop. And I noticed that so far, and you see how this base has the highest wick. So we walk with that highest wick to the lowest wick. You could use the drop. And look, oh, this one, wait. This one actually came back into our zone. Because, you know, this is still, that's our zone. A rally, base, drop, right? And it did actually give us opportunity. Wow, it did give us opportunity. This first one out here was an entry, literally right after the break. That's one. Then we have the one right next to it again, gave us an opportunity. Then this one gave us an opportunity. And this one gave us an opportunity. You know, that's right below, right, being safe and using the box. But let's say we use the 25, right? You can see that this one came to our 25. Our stop loss above the high. You know? And then at least 3, 2, 1, right? Let's see if this one gave us 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 is down here, right? So let's mark the line. Now let's see if price, look at that, family. And it never hit our stop loss. There you go. Look at that. Another beautiful entry using the rally base drop method and getting us into at least right at the beginning of the box, so 25%. And look, it went sideways for a little bit and then it gave us our win. Beautiful. So family, that's our rally base drop lesson for today. Tomorrow I will be going over the drop base drop, and then the following day will be drop base rally. So we have 2 more of the patterns, and then we go into another subject. So family, I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't done it so, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay alert with my future classes that I do. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. I truly appreciate every single person that, you know, get on and watch my video. It's a true honor, and it's just gonna get better in you know, moving on forward to the near future. So have a great one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.